Hey, what up, everybody? steviebreech coming to you in a good old video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about my favorite member of the Tough Enough cast that was shot last year. Um, my favorite guy on that show, I tweeted the whole time that I was picking to win the show, was Jeremiah. I thought Jeremiah had a load of talent that was out there that I think that was untapped by the WWE. I think that, I sort of understood once they got down to it with him not winning, with them picking Andy over Luke in the finals. He was the guy that, basically just got into wrestling. He came out of MMA and thought that he could pick up the wrestling thing pretty fast and came in very, very green. But the one thing that they said with all the trainers, Booker T, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Trish Stratus, and Bill DeMott, was that he is greener than green, but he picks the stuff up pretty fast. He just he's getting there. He's just not all the way there. And I was real surprised that he wasn't brought into FCW right away. But he was brought into FCW finally, and then after 2 weeks, they were telling him that they weren't going to be able to offer him a deal, that they were going to be letting him go, which really surprised me. I thought this guy had a good load of talent that if they kept their eye on this guy and just kept molding him, I thought they could make him into what they needed to. I mean, I think that I think that he could have been a great superstar in the WWE, and I think that he had a whole lot of talent that they could have used. I think that a lot of the guys that they have in FCW right now are pretty tapped out because of them being used on NXT, and they have about 2 or 3 real talents down there, and everybody else is just sort of like, yeah, they've been down there for a while. I think everybody's looking forward to seeing Steamboat. I think everybody's looking forward to seeing Tyler Black finally make their way up. But except for that, I'm not really know of anybody that they're really high on down there in FCW right now. And having Jeremiah around, it doesn't seem like it'd be that much of a waste down there. Every time that Tough Enough has been on, or Diva Search, the WWE, almost everybody from that show gets signed in some way. Very rarely did anybody go. If you think about the first Diva Search, almost every diva that was on that show, got some sort of a deal. I mean, they were around for a long time. It wasn't just Christy Hemme who won the contest. It was loads and loads of other ones. Maria. I'm not gonna name them all. There's too many of them. But I mean, a lot of them went on to become actual decent divas wrestlers for WWE's standpoint. So it's weird. It's like Tough Enough sort of went out and or WWE went out and got Tough Enough, just sort of a way to make some more revenue. It looks like, because I mean, Luke doesn't have a deal. It's only the guy who won. I mean, he was already under a developmental deal anyway, so it doesn't really make sense if they were even really looking for talent in the first place. It seems like they were just going out making a TV show to put some some bucks in the pockets, make some money for Stone Cold and everybody else. But all in all, the only reason why I'm making this video is because I was real surprised that Jeremiah went out and he did an interview around the Octagon. He sort of points his finger at the reason why he got released from FCW is because he doesn't have the same look as everybody else, which I think is real true. A lot of the guys that are pumping out are almost all pretty much the same as somebody else. It's like they have a cookie cutter image down there in FCW about who they want to make. If you look at guys like Alex Riley, who've been pumped up, it's just basically just the Miz 2.0. A lot of these guys are just trained to all be the same. All have the same hair, all have the same look, all do the same moves, and that's why I liked Jeremiah. I thought that he could add something different to it and you really mix something in. But he really goes after Bill DeMott. He thinks the only reason why he's not in FCW is because of Bill DeMott is down there. He got signed to some sort of developmental scout for the WWE. That's his new job, and he goes after him, saying that they were cool on the show, but for some reason when he got to FCW, wouldn't show him the time of day. And what I think Jeremiah needs to learn is that they might have been cool on the show, but that was television. This is real life when it comes to FCW. Like, yeah, he was a trainer on the show, but when it comes to it, his job now is to find the real talent and let WWE know, who's got it and who doesn't. You don't want to be that guy who's, pumping your friends through as fast as they can. And then once they hit, the main, WWE, once they hit TV, they fall on their face, and then, that makes you look bad. I mean, if you want to keep your job as a scout, your first few guys that you pump up, they have to be great. They can't just be mediocre to good, or you're not going to have a job anymore, because you're the guy that are looking to find these guys and bring them up and actually carry the ball once they get there. I think Jeremiah would be fine once he went out and he found, a place that he can work normally. I think if he went out and worked the independents or something like that, I'm not real sure I want him jumping over to TNA. They're not really great at developing talent, and he really needs help in the ring, not being shown on national television to people, judging him constantly. I don't think that's really going to help him. I don't even think going to a place like Ring of Honor would help him that well. Find, a local indie in the backwoods that wrestles, once a month, twice a month, and work there. Let WWE know, bring him and show him tapes. I'm sure that being a guy from Tough Enough, you can find a way to work your magic and get backstage and actually talk to these guys, or use your connections. It's not the end of the road for you, Jeremiah, but I think this, interview that you did, I think it really did shut the door on your wrestling career. And this is the stuff that gets you heat that you don't ever get out of. I mean, if you're a guy that that's been around for a good while, that's been in that mid card to upper card status, and you're on the outside and you blow your load pretty much on everybody, and you get some heat, at least you have your name to get you in the door. But when you're just the guy that was on Tough Enough and you do this, the door's pretty much shut. I don't know anybody's gonna let you in. So bad move, Jeremiah.